All right, so the next piece is the map. You want to make sure that you're logged into your Google account, just like you were for Google Docs, and then just type in maps.google.com. Click on My Maps. It should load up different maps. Now I've shared the recruiting map with you. It's 2011 WSU football recruiting commits. It should show up when you click on My Maps. If it doesn't, let me know, and we'll try to get that fixed up. So click on that. Sorry. And that will show you the different people that have already committed on this map. Okay, so there's 6 guys. Obviously, I'm way behind on the map at this point, but that's who it shows here. So, all right, so to add somebody to this is actually fairly simple, but it does require that you kind of follow a specific, certain, prescribed amount of steps so that you kind of get it right. Because if you do it wrong, then it kind of gets goofed up and that doesn't get added right and whatever. So as long as you follow the steps, it's really not terribly difficult. So here we go. So the first thing you want to do is come up to the search box, and what you want to type in is actually the name of the high school that the student went to. So if we were just using, me as an example again, we type in, Ording High School. Now, a lot of times it'll drop down. Okay, so in this case, it dropped this down. Just click on that. It'll bring up a list over here of the closest matches. Pick the one that's right. In this case, A is the right one. So I'll just click A, and it'll bring up this little dialogue kind of, bubble thing here. All right, so this is where you got to kind of follow the steps the right way. Which one did you click Save To? All right, and then it'll pop up 2011 WSU recruiting commitments. If it doesn't pop that up, just drop down, you can find it. Okay, click Save. All right, and it'll say it was saved to. Now, if you just click View Map, it'll take you to the recruiting map. If you come over here to where it lists the different recruiting commits, scroll down, obviously we don't want it to say Ording High School, we want it to say the name of the player. So click on Ording High School, and what it'll do is it'll bring up this little dialog bubble again. And here's what we want to do. Come over here, back over here, scroll back up to the top, click Edit. All right, that will allow you to edit kind of this whole thing. The big thing here is over here, we want it to be the name of the player, as you can see here from looking at the guys that I've already done, the name of the player and their position. So like OL, DL, okay? And the name of the high school will stay in this place details box, so that's not a big deal. Now, the other thing is this kind of description area. What I'm going to use that for is linking to their CougCommit features. In this case, I've only done Bishop Sankey, so he's the only one who has that, and that'll show that. But you guys don't have to worry about that. Again, that's like the spreadsheet. I will add those as I do those CougCommits. So that's kind of where we're at. So then you just click OK. Now it's all modified. You scroll down here, you can see now it's name and the list. And when you're done, you just click Done. All right. Now you might notice that there's a little red one to go along with all these blue ones. The red one, that's actually just the map being layered. If you look over here, it says hide, and it shows you the football recruiting commits and Ording High School. Basically what it's doing is taking 2 maps and putting them into one. If you just uncheck this, it'll get rid of the red one, and now you're just left with the blue ones that are actually part of the recruiting commits map. Okay, so that's pretty simple. That's pretty much all you have to do with that. All right, let's move on to the last piece, which is the football commits resources page. Now this one isn't terribly difficult, not even really complex, but just want to show you a couple tricks that we want to use to try and keep this thing manageable. As we talked about earlier, that we did, this thing is only so wide, so we want to get as much as we can into this window. And so if you go down here to where we've got the resources, what we really want is we want the link, the type, and the description kind of all inside this window, if at all possible. One of the ways we can do that is with the use of short links. So I'm going to work on that real quick just to show you how to do that if you're not familiar with how to create a short link. So the first thing, if you've got a new recruit, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come down here, and if you take one of the old players and type, just basically do duplicate, that's what you want to do, because what we've got is we've got a situation where I've already formatted it so that the first row is frozen just in case we get a very long list of links, and videos and things like that, we want the name to stay where it's at. So if you just click duplicate, it'll create another one. At least it should. There we go. Copy of David Davis. And then first thing we want to do is we want to rename it. So we're going to call it, Jeff Nusser again. And then of course we want to change the name here. So come up here, change David Davis. And we want them to be all caps. It'll already be bold, so you don't have to worry about that. And then we want to go ahead and clear out the links here. So you can do that just by highlighting those and then right clicking over here, and you can, delete row. It'll delete that one and then delete row again, and it'll delete that one. Okay, so we kind of have basically two different types that I want to show you here. Video from YouTube and then everything else. So let me show you video from YouTube first. You may have noticed that there was already a YouTube link over here on David Davis, who we duplicated. It goes youtu.be/ and then a whole code thing. This youtu.be, we're going to do on all of those. That's a short link for YouTube. So first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how to do this, youtu.be/. Okay, now what comes after the slash on a YouTube video? It's pretty simple. If you go to YouTube, and this is our recruiting tutorial part 1, if you go over here, there's this, see this URL up here? It ends with this long code, okay? That's all you need to put there. So you copy that, go back over here, paste it after that slash, hit return, and voila, it turns into a link, and there you go. And again, if you click on it and launch it, you're going to see that it'll take you to the CougCenter recruiting tutorial. So that's pretty simple. But that you have to do by hand. I haven't found anywhere on a YouTube page where it gives you the short link on the page. Maybe I'm missing it, but I just don't see it. So then just type in video. Type would be video. Description would be just basically, and for the description, we just want something brief. We want people to know what they're going to see, because a lot of these videos kind of suck. They're pretty worthless. It's just like, a guy lifting weights or something. We put it up there because there are some people who want to see everything about a guy. Other people want to see just like the stuff that really matters. So try to be as descriptive as briefly as you can, if that makes sense. Just briefly tell people what's in there. Okay, everything else, any other kind of link you find. Okay, so let's say, this is the link. All right. Copy the URL, and then in a new tab, there's a whole bunch of different places you could go. There's tiny.url, there's bit.ly. I use is.gd or is good simply because it's a little shorter. So if you type in is.gd and return, it's going to take you to this URL shortener. All you need to do is this. Take that one that you copied before, paste it into here, click compress that address, and it's going to give you a shortened URL. Then all you have to do is copy it, Control C, go back over to here, paste it into this space here, type, call it, story, and then, whatever the story is. Okay? And that's pretty much it as far as doing links. We just want to do these short links because basically, like I said, it'll help us keep our formatting manageable so that when we go back to the recruiting page, things are of a manageable length. As you can see here, somebody used ol.ly. Maybe that was Brian. All right, so that is pretty much it. The only other thing I want to do here is this. All of these down here should be in alphabetical order by last name. So the only thing you need to do is you click on this and click, move whichever direction you need to move to get it where it needs to be. So in this case, it needs to keep moving right, move right, move right. All right, move right, and move right. All right, and then it drops in where it needs to be. Okay, and that's really about it. Those 3 pages, that's how you do it. If you have any questions, let me know. Shoot me an email. I can, try and make some sense out of it for you. If something's not working, if something's not shared properly, we can work on that too. So hopefully this helps, and hopefully this gets us all on the same page. We can have really the best, I think, recruiting coverage around.